Stay with us. We'll be right back. It's still the Hello Chambers, and joining me on the program this episode is an honorable member of the House of Representatives. His name is Honorable Gboyega Isiaka, and he is the chairman, Committee on Student Loan and Tertiary Institutions. It's good to have you on the Hello Chambers.
Thank you very much. And,
thank you for joining us. Let's start with your committee. What is your assessment as a chairman of the Student Loan Committee in the House of Representatives? What would be your assessment of this loan scheme so far under the Tinubu administration?
Very, very fantastic. Very, very nice, and the responses to it has also been very impressive. It has played it has played and is playing a very major role in the Nigerian education sector. I know the number of requests and information inquiries rather I receive on a daily basis. On it. It started very slow, but now I think talking to the management, the kind of people that sign into it on a daily basis now is in the neighborhood of 3,000–4,000 per day. I know that as of now, over almost 500,000 people have applied. I've keyed into it, and over 400 have applied for one loan or the other. And the management has been doing a very fantastic job in terms of sensitizing the public. I think what the loan is meant to do, which is to kind of make access to education very easy for everybody, for all those that are supposed to be in school. I think the scheme is achieving that that objective very well. And we must also give kudos to the president and the presidency for giving it all the support. Even in the end that we have, the control is one we are talking about. It's all just picking up. I doubt if you have had 10% of our students that have applied so far. Where the projection is that in another, right now, from the last time we spoke, the number of people that have applied, came into the scheme is about 450,000 thereabout. And I know that definitely, given the number of students.
Is there a particular age range that is automatically, qualified for this to receive this kind of loan? Is there an age range?
Not an age-based. It's not an age-based thing. It's the qualification is for you that you must be Nigerian. You must be in a tertiary institution, in a public tertiary institution as of now, with all the evidences to show for that. So once you meet up those, then you can key it into the system. So irrespective of what your age is, once you're a Nigerian and you're a student of a public tertiary institutions, and then you'll be required to answer some questions, and then you can key it in as an applicant.
So let's talk about the recent wave of defection we've seen in the House of Representatives. The opposition party, that's to the APC, from the opposition party to the APC. The opposition parties have said this seems to demonstrate a lack of principle on those involved. Don't you see this as a problem?
Well, I don't see it as a problem. I would just say that it is still part of the evolution of our democratic system. We have a multi-party democratic system, and the rules are there that once there is a division in a party, members could take a decision, to want to cross carpet, quote and unquote. And I think that is exactly what is happening. If we now have a reason for us to make a change to that as we go on, then we can make a change to that. But I think all those that are doing that now, they are doing that within the law, within what the law provides.
Well, if there's something that a lot of Nigerians, quite appreciated with this 10th Assembly was the diverse, number of political parties being represented in the chambers. Now, with this kind of defection, don't you think this will signal a lack of sincerity to Nigerians and probably seem like a political stunt as usual?
But at the end of the day, too, a member will also have to do what majority of his constituents want. You cannot come in, there and do what is against the constituent. And usually, once we get into the floor, into the house, decisions are based on the fact of the matter and are hardly on party line. I mean, I'll give you an instance. The tax bill that has been going on, you will see that opinions come across, cut across party lines. So it's not, so members will still express their opinion on an issue, irrespective of party, in most instances. But whether you want to cross or you don't want to cross, it also has to do, yes, principle, but it also has to do with what your people want, and also has to do with what happens in the next 3 or 4, in the next election cycle. So it's a combination of all, and really you can't, you can't blame people too much in that regards. I mean, this thing is that you must give your best to your people, you must give your best to your country, but you must also survive politically in order for us to be able to do all of that. So it's a combination of all of that that give rise to this.
Will you say the opposition against these bills are merely political?
Yes, there are. Yes, you can say a bit of that, but again, there are also genuine concern, genuine fear. Having looked at all, I think what most things are settling down on is this issue of derivation. That's what most of the things are settling down on. The value-added tax and the way it's going to be shared. And people feel that bringing in the issue of derivation now at the level they want to bring it in will shortchange some part of the country, and people from that part of the country are coming out to talk against that, which I think is genuine. Discussions are going on, but one thing is that, out of every 10 people that one has listened to, 9 will always say that this is a fantastic proposition. But it's just this aspect. So it is that aspect now that needs to be settled in one way or the other. We need to explain to ourselves why we think this one side will not be settled, will not be shortchanged. And if there are things that we need to do in order for us to give everybody comfort, we have to begin to look at it. I think that's what I see. But on the whole, it's something that we need to do. We cannot be hoping for a country of 21st century and be relying on laws that were passed or that were made even when Nigeria was not created. So that is the thing. So we need to pull all this together so that we know exactly where we are going.
All right, we'll still talk about this tax reform bills, but we'll take this quick break now. Don't go anywhere. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us on the Hallowed Chambers. We're still speaking with Honorable Gboyega Isiaka, and we were talking about the tax reform bills before we proceeded on the break. Speaking of this tax reform bills, do you think it's a kind of sensitization problem? Because we saw in the Senate wing, some of these consultants and also these tax masters came to give a proper brief about what these tax reform bills are all about. We've seen also town halls on these tax reform bills, and maybe some opinions are beginning to shift. Do you think it was actually a sensitization problem that, these bills face so much opposition?
Yeah, I think that question has been asked. And I've listened to the consultant, Taiwo, I've listened to him a couple of times on it, and when he explained how far they went, I also agree that there are, reasonable level of sensitization. From the totality of what he said, they met with the private sector, the governors forum, and all. But then these things can never be too much. That's what this tells us. It can never be too much. And like you said, the more people talk about it, I listened to one gentleman from Kano, the chairman of Kano Internal Revenue Service, on a program 2 days ago, and fantastic delivery. So if we begin to get those kind of contributions from that part of the country, that means all of us are coming on the same page, on the page that this is good enough. So it may be that maybe the sensation initially, then there's also this natural resistance to change. What is all this again? Why you want to start taxing us? I had to go on a radio program in my Ogun State from here to explain to them that no, nobody is taxing you more. You are actually being taxed less. But the fact is that we need to do this because naturally we want to hear tax. The first thing is that they want to increase tax. Why do you want to increase tax? When fuel is this, when that is that? No, that's not the issue. So it is possible. I mean, I may not have to agree on that, but I think it's just the natural initial resistance. But I think a number of that is being done now. But those naughty areas, particularly of derivation, I think it still does the area that we need to sort out. In my view, I'm not aware of anyone, even the one of inheritance, that all of that was being said. The Kano man, and he should know, is in Kano, one of the most populous state in the northern part of the country. And he's saying there's no issue about that. Family issue, with inheritance issue has always been Nigerian tax laws. So it's not coming on. So how should that now become an issue here in this case?
There was quite an uproar on the floor of the House when this matter came up for debate or was mentioned. But so when should Nigerians expect that the House, do you have any idea, would debate this matter?
Well, that is wholly in the hand of the leadership, the Speaker and the leaders.
For the benefit of those who still don't understand what these bills are all about, can you help us understand what does this bill seek to achieve, and in what way do Nigerians stand to benefit from these tax reform bills? Well,
the tax reform bill seeks to put our fiscal system on a stronger footing. It's strong to put together laws of, tax laws of about 11 to 15 different laws into one law. It also seeks to centralize as much as possible our tax system. It seeks to reduce multiplicity of laws, of taxes that discourages investment in our system. It tries to reduce the burden of tax on the low-income earner. Before now, once you start from 0 to 300,000, there's a percentage you pay in your income tax, I think 7%. So even almost from 1 naira, you are due to paying tax, from the current system you have. But once the law is passed, it's only when you begin to earn from 800,000 naira and above. That is when you are going to be paying, tax. Before now, as a company, even if you are making loss, you pay what is called minimum tax, 1% of your turnover. The law that we have now, unless you are on a turnover of about 500 million naira and above, that's when you are going to be, paying those kind of taxes. Before now, you pay tax at about 30%. With this new law, you are going to be paid at about 25%. Before now, you call yourself a free trade zone. And in a free trade zone, you are supposed to be supporting our export. But you won't pay tax, you are called a free trade zone, you collect your good and come and sell it in Nigeria. But right now, if you want to be a free trade zone, do your good and go and sell it outside, so that we can earn foreign exchange, and so on and so forth. It's a whole lot of good things that is contained in there. Before now, you pay, there's different taxes. Third fund charge a particular percentage of on turnover, education tax. There's a ministry, some research fund that, all manners that discourages investment. Right now, there's only one charge of 4%, and that 4% will even reduce about 2% over time, talking about 20, in about 3 or 4 years, so that it's just one charge. You are just going to be paying just 1 or 2 or 3 taxes, not revenue or taxes all over the place, and a few other things. Then the administration is also being put together and organized better. Even at the local government level, they now have what they call, I think, local government tax organizing committee or something, headed by the supervisor for finance and a few other things. So there is more organization in our tax system, so that we'll be able to know exactly, what we are driving at. So in all, what the government and the designer of the law is trying to do is to put our tax system in the same pedestal of countries, that are doing, better than us. We feel that the kind of, country that we have more potential that we have now. In order for us to realize this potential, we have to begin to reform some parts of our system. One of them is the tax system.
How have you been able to project the aspirations of your constituents in the House of Representatives and ensure that, you know, their needs are properly captured?
Well, thank you very much. The peculiarity of my constituency is that we're a border constituency. The whole left flank of my constituency is bordered by Benin Republic. You know,
which constituency?
You are not Imeko for federal constituency. Okay. You know, so you know, it is in my interest, therefore, for constituencies that border, communities that border, you know, foreign countries to be developed, and really we lack infrastructure. So one of the things I did was to actually look at us as a people, and then, you know, come up with a plan. I mean, that gives me more knowledge about the place, and I have. I mean, about 2 or 3 bills that I've done that is really related to that area. One is in the area of what I call, you know, to propose and push for the setting up of an industrial park or a free trade zone around that area. And I premise that on the fact that if Africa is pushing for African continental free trade area, we should open our borders a lot more so that we can trade among ourselves. Communities that are bordered, you know, various countries are going to be the route for those trade to be done. And I felt that, you know, we need in our community an industrial park or a free trade zone for purpose of agro-processing, for purpose of export promotion and all of that. Is the report for it, open hearing has been done. The report for it has, you know, was laid just yesterday. And I'm expecting that the bill will be passed, we go for third reading any moment from now. Then in the area of private sector, I'll also be able to get a Chinese, you know, some foreign investors that are coming to explore the rise and cutting opportunities that we have in conjunction with the state government. As a matter of fact, we are fixed next week Friday for the final signing of the agreement for that. They'll be cultivating thousands of, you know, acres of land to plant cotton and then also to plant rice, because cotton is one of the products that Benin Republic economy is relied on, and we border Benin Republic. You know, we are in the same zone. You know, we feel that really is one thing we can do, and thank God we've been able to get them. I believe that early in the new year they should move to side. The idea is to enhance the economic, you know, and industrial development of the area, and I think that we're trying to do this, as you know, pursue it from the public sector, from the government, which is the industrial part that I mentioned. Also pursue it from the private sector by virtue of my background, which is the investors I'm able to get, you know, now partnering with the state government for them to be able to do that. So those are some of the things that we do. I think by next week, we should be able to sign that agreement finally so that the investors can come to, so that we can generate employment for our people.
That is all on our program today. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to watch a repeat broadcast on Sunday at 7 a.m. You can also see this episode again on TVC News YouTube channel. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching. I am Tijesu Ade. See you next time.